Hey you guys, I know this is gonna sound really lame, but today I'm bringing you another video about Dead by Daylight and how it's still a game on its dying breaths. Because this game, I mean, I haven't rewatched my old video and I really don't. I remember complaining about Decisive Strike and that's not that big of a problem anymore. But I do have a few more gripes that I would like to share with you guys in today's video. But if you do happen to enjoy my crappy, feels like once a year content, then drop us a sub. And if you know, just if you feel like it, helps the channel, helps me as a content creator. Let's ignore the part of the clip where I completely missed the cage and fell into the acid. And let's get into the first points, starting now. Okay, so my first complaint is kind of a weird one. And it's that a K-pop star as a killer in Dead by Daylight. Now, if you like K-pop as a music genre, I could literally care less. But in a game where it's about murder and all this other stuff, you would figure that you would try to put some more threatening people in the game. People have been suggesting Candyman and Pennywise forever, and we still haven't got either of those. And we're probably not going to get any of those, to be honest. Um, and it's just kind of embarrassing that, I feel like they're not even taking the game seriously anymore. The last killer before them was conjoined twins. The killer before that was a botanist, and I don't even, and then you had Pyramid Head, which was cool. But I just don't understand. Were they just completely out of ideas with killers? I mean, seriously, it's just kind of frustrating that we get K-pop stars for killers. I mean, again, if you like the genre, there's no problem with that. Like what you like. I personally don't like it, but you have an opinion. I'm saying that it's really, really stupid that in a game about murder, where you have to hide, and it's scary, well, it isn't scary, like, ever, but, you know, a game that's meant to be taken seriously puts these killers that nobody takes seriously in the game. Like, people, just try behavior, because I know that you didn't put any effort in this. I just know that you were just on something the day you decided that a K-pop star would be the killer in Dead by Daylight. Because that's stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Okay, next up is, okay, toxic killers. So this goes for survivors as well, not just killers. But it feels much more prominent with killers than it does with survivors. And if you're wondering why this is CM gameplay instead of Dead by Daylight, is because one, I refuse to play the garbage game that has become Dead by Daylight, and two, I've really been enjoying CM, whereas I've not been enjoying Dead by Daylight lately. So there's some reference for you. And there's going to be a lot more videos coming, with summer coming up. I'll have a lot more time to make videos because, well, I will be in summer school. I will not have to, go through the normal schooling process and then feel depressed when I get home. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't take that last part seriously. But, yeah, I just feel like the killers. I feel like the game is getting a lot more killer sided with, not a whole lot of stuff coming for survivors. It's mostly about killer now. And if they're going to focus on killers, that's whatever. I don't know why people. I understand why people play killer. I'm just not one of the guys that really thoroughly enjoys killer. But just basing your entire game or they're kind of going the Friday the 13th route, where they're making the game entirely too unfair for the counselors. Well, what I mean by unfair is that Jason's rage mode basically makes it impossible to stun him, whereas in the past it never did that. They only patched it like that, so it would be more Jason-sided. Which I guess makes sense, because, the Jasons have it tough. They don't got easy lives. They've got to deal with Chads running around with baseball bats and the car keys, destroying them all day. And I understand that, and I know it's toxic, but I feel like Rage Mode didn't need to be buffed. I'm getting off topic. But, I just... Yeah, anyway, on to... No buffs on the Survivor side. So, if you play Killer on Dead by Daylight, you're going to see this as probably entitled Survivor behavior. But I don't think I'm wrong in saying this, because I feel like there have been almost zero Survivor updates, and, I feel like that's a problem. There needs to be updates for the Survivors as well as the Killers. Not to mention the new Survivors just suck, but I'm pretty sure I already talked about that in my other Dead by Daylight Sucks video, where I was much more enraged. I think I had just gotten like a long ban or something. It's whenever I tried to get back into the game, but by that point they basically had ruined it and I didn't want to play it anymore. I just kind of feel bad because I used to really, really enjoy Dead by Daylight thoroughly. Now it's just come to such a crippling state. And yeah, again, you might say that I'm whining, and I kind of am. But that's mostly because I want to see this game get better. I feel like there's hundreds of Dead by Daylight rant videos. But, I want to kind of update some of the previous points I made, which made no sense, like whining about Decisive. That didn't make a whole lot of sense, and I don't know why I said it. Because eventually I was just unused to the new DS timing. Anyway, on to the next. Again, this kind of goes along with the point that the game is getting really, really killer-sided. And then that's that the Survivors were recently nerfed. And if you don't know what I mean by nerf, maybe, you're not a huge, avid online game player. But a nerf is whenever something gets worse because the developers think it's too overpowered. So, take for example, you know what, I don't know. Say like in this is just like for reference, like if the developers of Mortal Kombat thought Scorpion was too overpowered or something, which he might not be, I don't know. I'm just using this as an example. They might nerf the character to make him worse and, not as good. Like, maybe they'll make one of his attacks have a longer time or wind up or something like that. And a buff is whenever something gets better. So if they think Johnny Cage is not good of a character, they'll rework him in a way that makes him better. Or, in this way, I should have used okay. But what I mean by this is Decisive Strike was nerfed into the ground. You can't do anything after you're unhooked, because you can't save teammates, so you're basically just useless while you're waiting for your Decisive, because if you use it too early, then you can't use it anymore, and that's kind of not fair. And I feel like it could go back to the old way, but you know how behavior is. They're gonna continue to make the game this way, because, the killers are where the money's at, because I will respect them. They do somehow come up with brand new ideas every couple of months, and I will give the credit where credit is due with that, And they pump out a new killer every couple months, and, it's kind of impressive because I couldn't even come up with a single killer idea that isn't already taken. But, there's eventually going to come a time where there's no more credit to give, and that's kind of where I'm at with this game, with Dead by Daylight. Again, don't send any hate to behavior. This is just my thoughts on what this game has become. And, you know, it's kind of unfortunate that this game is in such a state that it most likely won't recover from unless they just bring back the old game. They bring back what everyone loved about the original game, and they just continue to make it work. But, you know, if they can't do that, then people are most likely going to be dropping it within the next couple of years. And, you know, releasing new cosmetics while everyone thinks they're cool, they're just an obvious cash grab. Anyone will realize that. The reason that the skins are there for the seasons, like the Lunar New Year, is so that they can make more money because of the holidays. I mean, it makes sense. It's a good business practice, I guess. It's kind of scummy, but you know, they've got to make money somehow other than characters in the already $30 price tag for the game. So, yeah, I don't understand why. Yeah, it's fair to have skins that don't give you a competitive advantage, but $10 a skin is, like, unreasonable. Anyway, I'm sure you guys are tired of seeing rant videos, and I wish I could get back to the old way I did things, you know, new videos every couple of weeks, but with school and stuff, and also just sometimes I just don't have any ideas, but I'm gonna be working on a project that'll most likely take a while. I'm looking to do a Batman Arkham retrospective because, I mean, not the entire series because that would be ludicrous, and I have nowhere near beating Arkham City, let alone do I have gameplay at the beginning. But I'm currently working on Arkham Asylum because, if you don't know, I love Arkham Asylum. None of you probably knew that because I've never said it before. But it's one of my most favorite games of all time. Well, now that I replayed it, it is. I love the game. Everything from the atmosphere to the missions to everything. It's just the perfect game, pretty much. And I don't understand why people say it's the worst game over Arkham City. Maybe I was just burned out on Batman when I tried to play Arkham City. That's probably it. Sorry I've been talking so much about future videos for over a minute. I'm going to end the video here because I know you guys are tired of rant videos, and I'll probably be before now. Arkham Asylum is going to be a long-term project, so I'll most likely make commentary videos somewhat like this one for a while. Videos where I talk about games that I enjoy, such as the one you're seeing right now, and even Friday the 13th, one of the first online games with that I ever got to play. It was one of the first. I'm sorry, again, I'm going off topic. But if you guys did thoroughly enjoy another rant video about Dead by Daylight, then drop a like, subscribe for more content that literally I just threw out because I needed to make a video. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.